Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. Hello, mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another edition of Sierra Media Live on YouTube and Facebook. And welcome to our round of 16 edition of the Female World Cup 2023 in Australia and New Zealand. Today is a remarkable day for African football as we have the third round of 16 showdown. And today, Group E winners, Netherlands, is about to take on the runners-up South Africa in Group G, and they are going to be fighting for their quarterfinal space in the 2023 Female World Cup. The kickoff is just about to start, And today we are going to be talking a little bit about South Africa and the Netherlands, how far these two nations have come when it comes to football. Well, I want to say welcome to you guys watching, and please share the link to those who are likely going to be up tonight to watch this remarkable game that is about to kick off at any time soon. But what I'm about to say today is going to be very much interesting because we are now looking at three African countries that have qualified for the World Cup round of 16 for the first time. And it's not just only for the female World Cup, but it's also a record for both World Cup, men and women. And today we're going to slightly have some different things that we have on the screen. As you can see, we have the scoreline that is going to tell us exactly what is going to happen and how we're going to run this commentary today between South Africa and the Netherlands. South Africa are ready, and kickoff is just about to start. And when kickoff starts, we will go according to the schedule and get our own clock running at the same time. So when the kickoff goes on, our whistle is going to go, and that's it. Kickoff started, and the clock is going down for the first 45 minutes of the match. It's going to be retaken. Yes, it is going to be retaken. I don't know what's happening there with the referee. Couple of more seconds to retake the opening of the round of 16 knockout stages of the female World Cup so far, as we see South Africa wearing their away jersey, which is the black, and the Netherlands is on their normal usual jersey, which is the orange. Today's match is going to be very interesting, very, very, very interesting, because we're going to be looking at these two great nations in football. Well, massively great in terms of comparing the two. Holland is the European champions, and they are definitely going to prove themselves here tonight as we are locking on with another great challenge by an African country that is yet to go past the first round of any major tournament of this type. Today is the World Cup, round of 16. We're now going to see the European champions, Netherlands, who are going to be head on head with the African champions. Interesting game to watch. And one thing I also want to say, between these two countries, they are meeting against their former masters. What a coincidence. What we have seen so far, all the three African countries that have qualified for this tournament, for the round of 16, are playing against their former colonial masters. Interesting. People might not have gone through that milestone to look at what has happened, but I think it is historical. Why is it historical? Now we are seeing Holland, who is definitely the slave masters for South Africa. What a coincidence, because the South Africans are likely, I would say, colonized, although they have a great influence of Great Britain, but at the same time, they are more or less colonized by the Dutch. And the Dutch are possibly the biggest denomination of European influence in South Africa. So today, they are playing against their own masters. Okay, not just that, but we also saw that Nigeria has qualified also for the round of 16. And guess who are they playing against? They're playing against England. What a coincidence. We know, of course, the English influence in West Africa, and definitely the English were the ones responsible for colonizing Nigeria. And now, tomorrow, they are going to be playing against their former colonialists. But not just that, and we're now going down to the next African country that has qualified for the round of 16, which is Morocco. And Morocco are going to be playing against France. What a coincidence. It is a serious coincidence because France also are colonial masters of the Moroccans. And of course, one of the official languages spoken in Morocco is French. What an ironic situation that we found ourselves today in this FIFA World Cup round of 16, wherein we're going to be seeing African countries playing against their former colonial masters. Now South Africa is on the attack, and the ball has gone for ball still in play, and South Africa has just had a foul or throw awarded against them. A very interesting match to watch, and as we see things unveiling, South Africa has the confidence today like they've never done before. They're now in possession, knocking it around in the 18, not in the 18-yard box, but in the half of the Dutch, and they're knocking it around swiftly, gaining ball possession, just like all the other days that they've been playing. They have more confidence since they lost their first match to Sweden, which hasn't been an easy match for them at all. So today they are challenging what has been one of their proudest moments in football. And that moment is playing against their former colonial masters, the Dutch. Well, the game so far, we've got like 4 minutes gone, and we're still looking at what is going to happen on this match. South Africa is in possession for the past 3 minutes, and the ball is still being played in the half of the Dutch. The Dutch have never played any African countries within the past couple of years. On records, this is the first time they're playing an all-black team, to be precise, an African team. That alone is a history, and it is quite surprising to see histories like that, because we might be thinking the Dutch possibly might have played a couple of friendlies with other African countries when it comes to female football. But unfortunately, no, they haven't. The goal line is still 0-0. It's 0-0, just 5 minutes gone of the first half, as South Africa is playing against Holland, their former Dutch masters, or the Netherlands. The ball is now in control of the Netherlands. They're knocking it around. South Africa had a block, and South Africa is back in control, and they're driving it wide to the right flank, where we have an attack by South Africa. The first chance is just been taken, and it is a back pass for the goalkeeper to make an easy save. So we have already seen South Africa are ready to take this game on to the Netherlands. That was a nice one to being played by the captain, who hits the ball, but it just wasn't hard enough. Did not put more power into that shot, and the ball was just like a back pass. But it's a very nice beginning for South Africans, as they are very much confident to take this game on to the Netherlands. As we all know, the Netherlands have a good footballing female record and is yet to be broken today. The coincidence of this tournament is great, because we've seen all the colonial masters playing against their former colonies, and that is exactly why this tournament has been very much interesting. So the Netherlands have just had a corner kick, and this is their very first attack within the first 6 minutes of the game being played so far. Netherlands have got their first corner. Well, as we all know, this game is going to be the decider for any one of these countries that are going to be ready to play the already winner on the other group, which is Spain, that won their match 5-1 earlier on today against Switzerland. The corner was taken and driven out of the 18-yard box of the South Africans, but the Dutch are now in control again once more, and they're knocking it around slowly and swiftly. The ball goes up in the air. The Dutch are still in the attack, just very close, and the goalkeeper made a save over the crossbar. Definitely, this is going to be a game on. A game on. That's the first attempt of the Netherlands, and it was just a swift volley taken like a cross, and the goalkeeper made a brilliant save and passed it right over the crossbar of her goal. So South Africa is defending against the second corner just being taken, as we await the corner to be taken. Yes, it has been taken, and a swift drive, and a goal has been awarded to the Dutch. They've scored an early goal, just 8 minutes of the first half being played so far. Holland has taken the lead. They've just taken the lead against South Africa, and it is definitely an early lead by the Dutch, and Holland is leading 1-0, and it is only 8 minutes gone of the first half through a corner kick that wasn't defended well, and you had two players standing by, whilst an attacker of the Dutch was right in the middle of the 6-yard box after the first save was made. Another follow-up was not made. According to the way things stand right now, South Africa is chasing the game 1-0 down. Okay. Well, we've just seen a swift change, and South Africa is leading. No, South Africa is not leading, sorry. South Africa is 1 down to Holland. So we're yet to see what South Africa is going to do. How are they going to respond to this? Are they going to respond in a positive manner, or are they going to sit back and defend, or are they going to do the best they can to make sure that they close the gap down? They've just been, they've just lost the ball, and the ball is still in the half of the South Africans as they're still defending the first goal that was just being scored against them in the almost 10 minutes gone. Well, this is going to be an interesting match. Just 10 minutes, almost 10 minutes gone of the first half, and Holland is leading by 1-0. South Africa has proven to be a team that always come from the back and win games. So far, they were leading in their last game and against Argentina, and it was a 2-2 draw, which was not much convincing at all. But today, they are playing against the champions of Europe. So this is the champions of Europe against the champions of Africa. It's not going to be easy for South Africans, as they are also playing against their colonial masters. What a coincidence for us to have almost, well, not almost, all the three African countries that have qualified for the round of 16 are playing against their former colonial masters. Now South Africa is on the attack, being put back again to the Dutch, and South Africa has just had a throw in their favor. Today's match is going to be interesting. We don't want to say it's going to end up like this, but as you can see me today, I'm in my South African colors just to support the nation, as Africans are Africans, and that is what we are, and we have to be proud of what we have achieved so far. And I think if South Africa managed to do the best and come out with a good result that is going to make them go into the quarterfinals of this tournament, it means they have made the continent proud. South Africa is still defending, and it's a careless pass by the defender and cleared out again. It's still in their half, and they are now in control as they're knocking around to Jermaine. What is Jermaine going to do? Are they going to respond to this? Nobody's in the box. She's doing it alone. Over the crossbar. That was a second chance being taken by the captain so far, and we are yet to see something that is going to happen here. Well, it's very interesting. Jermaine and the captain has been in good collaboration so far within the first half. I think that should be a save by the goalkeeper of the Dutch. Is it a save? Are we having a corner, or is just a goal kick? I think that was a definite save by the Dutch goalkeeper. It's not a corner. Referee says play on. And South Africa is now in possession again for the second time as they're chasing into a foul being awarded to South Africa. This game is not going to be easy. South Africa are ready. They are very much ready and prepared. They've just conceived a goal at the early stages of the first half, and they've been on the attack so far, and this game is going to be crucial in terms of what the end product is going to be like. South Africa is trailing 1 down, and they are having a discussion before the free kick is going to be taken. You have Jermaine and Mbane and a few more others surrounding the ball as the free kick is going to be taken in favor of the South Africans. Is it going to be a goal, or we're watching and waiting anxiously to see what is going to be the end product of this free kick? All right, as we now await, the free kick is going to be taken, and yes, it has been taken, and it came back straight into the half, and the Dutch are now in control, still in their half, knocking it around. and they are now in full control, taking a back seat and knocking the ball back so that they can have control of the possession, which is what they're doing right now. It's just about 13 minutes gone of the first half, and South Africa is trailing 1-0. An early goal being scored just about 8 minutes of the first half so far. That is when the Dutch had their first goal from a set piece, and they are now in full control of the match. Well, we know definitely South Africa has the potential to score goals, and we're not going to look down at the results so far, as we still believe South Africa can make a difference in this match. A bad clearance by the South African goalkeeper, and yes, you had two more players coming from the midfield just to protect that particular missed clearance. Unfortunately, it's gone for a throw in favor of the Dutch. Jermaine is playing a slightly different position today. She's all the way on the right flank, which is not our normal position. I don't know why the changes has been made, but it seems to be effective so far because she had had a very nice combination 1-2 with the captain. So we are waiting to see what is South Africa going to do to respond to what is the scoreline so far. They are chasing every ball, not allowing the Dutch to breathe. They are locking them down, and they're putting the Dutch under pressure for them to lose the ball in crucial positions. And now the Dutch are in control. This is 4v4, and they're knocking it around to the right flank of the Dutch. And is he going to do a cross? We're not too sure yet. She's still dribbling, twisting, turning around. That's a nice pass, but nobody was there at the end of it. Again, we're still watching, and the Dutch coach is standing by. He's now off his bench, and he's thinking what sort of strategy is he going to bring in for his team to be in full control of this match. At the moment, South Africa has possessed the more of the ball than the Dutch, but they are still trailing 1-0 as we've just played 15 minutes of the first half gone, and we don't know. We are not really sure what is going to be the result at the end of the match. We hope South Africa regains possession and regains their scoring potential, as a long ball is being played to the captain and she lost it accidentally. Unlucky. The Dutch are now in control again once more. They're knocking around to the left flank. Is it going to be a cross out by the same player who made that crucial cross? Yes, it is. But it goes out for a goal kick in favor of South Africa. This is going to be a very interesting match so far, and South Africa is trailing by 1-0. It's going to be a very interesting week. Tomorrow we have a bad pass by the South Africans, and the Dutch are now in control, just about a few yards away from the South African 18-yard box, as they're knocking it around and taking it back to the halfway line as they're building their attack all the way deep into their half. They're still into the possession. They're knocking it around again, close to the 18-yard box of the South Africans. A long cross all the way and headed out by the South African defense and get right into the legs of the Dutch wingback. And she also made a cross and was headed out of the 18-yard box of the South Africans. Yes, not a foul being given. No, still play goes on still. The referee is not saying anything. And yes, it looks like a foul against Jermaine, who is on the floor, rolling up and down with some amount of distress. Hello, Memuna, how are you? Hope you're doing fine. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for all those who are joining us this morning, as the UK time is now 3:20 in the morning hours, and we are still looking forward to a bright result of the South Africans against their former colonial masters, Netherlands. Okay, well, it's just about 18 minutes gone. We still have a South African player on the pitch lying down on her back, as she seeks medical attention from the side doctors. I think she twisted her ankle. Definitely, that looks like a very dangerous twist. Hope she's fine, as she has been one of the most influential player of the match so far. So we're still waiting for doctor's reports. Is she gonna be okay? I think so. She's just limping, coming back out of the pitch, so that she'll be able to return back to play, as South Africa has been awarded a goal kick or stoppages of the match because of Jermaine's injury on the pitch. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to send in your comments. If you know anything about South Africa or Holland that possibly some of us don't know, please share those ideas, so at least we'll be able to communicate and talk about female football that is now changing the trend of what football is all about. I know there are so many Sierra Dutch who are possibly watching, and the Sierra Dutch connection is very strong in the UK right now, as Holland are on the attack again once more in the right hand corner of the South African goal line. A throw has been awarded to Holland, and South Africa is ready to defend against this throw, as they are bringing in everything possible as they can. I think the flag is up. Is Jermaine going to come back to play? She's still struggling a little bit. She's twisting her face. I don't think she doesn't look too good so far. But let's hope she recovers quickly from this and she can continue to make her contribution to this match. It's a long kick into the head of the Dutch and cleared out by the South Africans, but they didn't go any further than their own half. The Dutch have been in control for the past 5 minutes, and their confidence has grown since they scored a goal, and they've been able to have a very good ball possession within the past 5 minutes as South Africa is trailing. So far, we've got 20 minutes gone of the first half, and we are still watching as South Africa is sitting back, not chasing anymore like they used to within the past 10 minutes, and they are anxiously waiting for a counter. Nice 1-2 by the Dutch. The Dutch are still in possession. Nice 1-2 again, and defended well by the South African defender. Again, another nicely defended, nice piece as well. Is that going to be a foul? No, referee says plays on. That's another challenge. Is the goalkeeper still? No, the goalkeeper is not coming out for that. It's too far away from her post. South Africa seems to be struggling a little bit. I think Jermaine is definitely not going to be able to make it. She's back again on the floor for the second time around after that twisted ankle. I don't think she's going to carry on with this game so far. I don't think she will. If she does, it will be great, but it will be very much disappointing for her to leave and not to carry on with this match. I think definitely Coach Ellis is going to make a change. I think Coach Ellis is going to make a change. Is that going to be a definite change, or that's not going to be nice to lose Jermaine at this particular time. It's definitely not going to be nice to lose her now, because what we've seen of her so far has been great. Losing her now is going to be disaster. It's definitely going to be a disaster, because you don't want to lose a player like that has been very much influential in the game so far. She made the 2 crosses that South Africa has hit the target twice, and for us to lose her now on the match, I think is not a good thing, but we hope that doesn't happen at all. So far, so good. South Africa is trailing. Yes, she's going to come out. They are going to make a change. Sorry, guys, I won't be able to show the match. It's going to be very much impossible for me to do so because of copyright duties or copyright laws that we will not be able to stand and face when it comes to the legality. South Africa is still knocking the ball around in their own half, and we've definitely lost Jermaine. She has been substituted with the injury that she picked up about 5 minutes ago. She twisted her ankle and she has just been replaced. So this is going to be now another challenge because of losing one key and influential player. Although the player that is being substituted has also performed well within the past couple of matches that she came on as a substitute, and she's now an early substitute in this match, and we are definitely not sure what is going to be the outcome of this particular game as it stands right now. South Africa hasn't been in possession for the past 10 minutes. The Dutch are in full control and they're knocking the ball around, but South Africa are not giving up yet. They still have some great opportunities, possibly likely. Only 24 minutes of the first half gone, and we still. No, Germany is not out yet. No, she's still on the pitch. She's still on the pitch. My mistake. My mistake. I think Germany is still on the pitch. I saw a substitution, but I don't think they went ahead with that. Now she has changed position. She's now moved on to the left flank. That was a nice cross. Unfortunately, it was too much for the number 10 player, who is also my favorite. The captain has proven to be very athletic in this particular match. She's driven the pass so nicely, but it was just too strong. Just too strong. They've made a swift change. Jermaine has moved over to the other flank, and I think that change is going to be very much useful for the South Africans. They are still in possession. They're trying it again. A long pass being taken, and again everybody lost it. It goes straight into the legs of the Dutch. The Dutch are now in attack in the 18-yard box of the South Africans. Are they going to knock it around? Not too sure. Twisting, turning around with the ball and pass it back to the midfielder. The midfielder back again, pass it to another, and they're knocking it around in the half of the South Africans, and they've just lost it. They won it again, and they're driving it right into the 18-yard box and clears out by the South African defense. Definitely, South Africans are actually putting the Dutch under pressure, and they've pumped up the volume again like they did when the match just kicked off initially. We're yet to see changes here being made, but Jermaine is still on the pitch, and she's giving her best and making sure that whatever happens on this match, her contribution is going to be meaningful. 26 minutes gone of the first half, and South Africa is trailing 1-0 against the Dutch. Netherlands, their former colonial masters, who are still in South Africa. This hasn't been an easy match for them. It would be nice for them to win this match so that we can tell them that, yes, football in Africa has changed. We're doing the best we can, although it's not yet as popular as it should be. But I think the Southern Hemisphere are doing extremely well when it comes to female football. The Dutch are now in control, and the throw has been awarded to the Dutch just about 5 or 10 meters away or 10 yards away. The Dutch are in full control. Yes, a nice save by the goalkeeper again once more. Very nice save by the South African goalkeeper. It looks like a one-on-one, and a very brilliant save once more. Very brilliant save once more. The South Africans have to be very careful because that was a nice turnaround and a nice save by the South African goalkeeper. The ball came straight at her, and she used her leg to block the second goal of the Dutch. The Dutch are now in attack again. They've just got a corner. I think they are now going to make a change. I'm not too sure whether it's Jermaine coming out or Jermaine after the corner. The corner has been taken and saved by the South African goalkeeper, who is very much active to drive it straight back, but held up because there were lots of Dutch. She just throws it on the pitch for the midfielder to build up their attack. Nice 1-2 being made, but they've lost it again to the Dutch. Seems like a little bit of a struggle for the South Africans so far. It's just 29 minutes gone of the first half, and South Africa is trailing 1-0 by the Netherlands. If you're watching, thank you for joining us, but unfortunately we won't be able to show the match. But we only talk about it and actually talk about the way things are happening on the pitch and a little bit of history. Yes, Jermaine is coming off finally. She has been substituted, and it's a very huge disappointment for her. And Shongwin is now on the pitch to replace Jermaine, prolific player, and it's a shame to lose her now, as South Africa is yet to create more chances for this match. South Africa is chasing the game. It's 30 minutes gone of the first half, and we definitely believe a miracle might happen on this match as we await the South Africans to pump up the volume once more and create another big upset. They've done it before. They are capable of doing it again. They had a draw match against Argentina. They lost to Sweden, which was not a bad loss at all. And at the moment, they won their match against Italy. And at the moment, they are one down against the European champions. So definitely we're going to see what is going to be the end product of this match, as South Africa is still trailing and the Dutch are knocking around swiftly and doing what they do best. But South Africans have managed to defend this game very tightly, as they've been using their physical strength and at the same time their skills. South Africa is in control again once more, and they are in full control of the ball. A nice 1-2 on the pitch. That is not a foul, referee. Right. Ellis is off the bench, and that's the South African coach desperately looking forward to this match, as the Dutch are again on the attack. The left flank has been very much challenging for the South Africans so far. The Dutch are still in control, knocking it around in South African half as they're taking the time, as South Africa is back in possession. Only one striker with 4 Dutch players, that's the captain, and driving it strongly into the 18-yard box of the Dutch. Unfortunately, she was on her own and she couldn't make it past the Dutch defenders. It's 1v4. Definitely is an impossible task for one to do, especially in a crucial and defensive match like this. But the captain has proven her worth so far. The South African captain, just like I said earlier on, South Africa has been in control of the match. They had a full 51% of the game possession, and a cross is being driven right into the 18-yard box of the Dutch, but headed out by the Dutch defenders, and a massive clear all the way down to the South African goalkeeper, as she's all the way out of our goal line to make a nice 1-2 pass by the South Africans. They're doing very well, but they're making some loose passes that is going to cause them something serious. But they're doing well so far, They have the confidence and they're knocking the ball around, and they have proven to be a side with quality. Yes, they have shown some amount of possession as well. They've been in control, just unfortunate to conceive an early goal, but they have been in full control of the match so far. So it's just about 33 minutes gone of the first half, and South Africa is still trailing by 1-0 as the Dutch have managed to score within the 8 minutes of the first half so far, and the goal line still remains to be Netherlands 1, South Africa 0. Thank you guys for joining us. Don't forget to have a discussion on the match if you can, as I'm talking about it. And I know you don't have the opportunity to watch it right now, but please pardon me, I won't be able to show it. As South Africa is yet again on the attack for the 5th or 6th time, as you have the captain. Oh no, saved again by the Dutch goalkeeper for South Africa to have a corner kick. And definitely, the captain has done extremely well so far on this match. She is challenging everything. She's waiting for every loose ball, and she's going to be possibly, even though South Africa might lose this game, which I'm not going to say so, but even if they do, I think she has proven her worth in this tournament so far. And the corner kick is being awarded to South Africa as we've just played 34 minutes of the first half. What is going to be of this corner? We're yet to. Oh, is a save by the goalkeeper, punched out and right into the legs of the Dutch as they're still trailing in their half. Foul being awarded to them. Unfortunately, South Africa did not make use of that corner, and it has been cleared by the Dutch, and a foul has been awarded to them. Thank you very much once more for watching, and South Africa has performed well so far, even though they are one down, but they have proven to be a side that you cannot mess with. They have actually proven to be the African champions in this tournament so far. Yes, they have. They've only lost a match to possibly a strike. Oh, nice save again by the goalkeeper, as that was a long strike all the way from the Dutch number 22, who has proven to be very stubborn in that corner. She has given South Africa possibly a run for their money. Oh, that's a bad kick by the goalie. Have to be mindful of those goal kicks. And South Africa is now in possession. They're building so much confidence in this game. They have built so much confidence, and they are actually doing the best of their ability. Winning this match for them is going to be very crucial, very important as well. Now on the attack, just lost it to the goalkeeper, who is going to pick it up. The Dutch goalkeeper, is rolling the ball on the pitch and then pass it on to her defenders, and they're knocking around to their midfielders. If you're joining us, welcome. You're watching Sherajan Media live on YouTube and Facebook, and you are watching the round of 16 of the World Cup as South Africa is clashing heads with the Netherlands. Former masters. Now the game is still on. South Africa is still chasing every loose ball. They are not giving the Dutch any chance at all whatsoever in this particular match. A very crucial one, and they are chasing everything as they're putting in all their all just for them to prove their worth as the African champions. It's a nice one too. A foul being awarded to the Dutch, just about 10 yards away from the 18-yard box of the South African defense. Another player on the pitch lying down, turning around. South African defender number 13. She looks very distressed at the moment. Don't know what sort of injury she might have picked up. Another twisted ankle. Oh my God. That's another twisted ankle, and that looks really bad. That looks really, really, really bad. Another twisted ankle. Is she gonna be able to make it up again and continue play? I'm not sure. Well, the side or the pitch doctors are there looking at her injury and possibly will be able to assess how serious is that injury. Well, we're waiting and hoping that it doesn't really sound that bad. we are hoping, hope that she's still in distress. She's just twisting and turning on the pitch. Is this going to be another injury for the South Africans? I hope not. I hope not. I hope not. And I hope not. So basically, South Africa, the winner for this group, is going to play against Spain, who has already won their last match 5-1 against Switzerland. They are now showing us household names in football as they are watching this match at their own convenience. As we can now see, the stretcher is out on the pitch and they are going to take the South African player on a stretcher as she might not be able to walk on her own. That's another serious injury against Ellis's team. She might be a very confused coach right now as she has lost two of her major players. Two of her major players in this first half so far. It's not a good sign at all. It's definitely really not a good sign as they're getting another substitute to get ready to come on the pitch. This doesn't look like a good start at all. South Africa has picked up another injury and she's going to be taken out on a stretcher. I don't think she's definitely going to carry on with the match. What a sad moment for this. What a sad moment for two of their most prolific players are now being substituted for the same type of twist of ankle whilst challenging a loose ball. This is a bad result so far for the South Africans, and we hope the substitution has been made, and definitely Makwebela has been introduced in the defense. This is going to be a crucial match for the South Africans as they are trailing 1-0. The free kick was taken and it goes straight over the bar for a goal kick to be awarded to the South Africans. Thank you very much for watching. If you're watching us, you're watching Sarah Jane Media Live on YouTube and Facebook, and you're watching the commentary edition of the Netherlands versus South Africa on the round of 16 that will qualify them to play against Spain. So South Africans are on the attack again. The captain has been on the attack against 5 defenders. She is doing it all on her own as the combination player that she was playing with, Jermaine, has just been substituted. A long kick is being taken in, so South Africa is still in possession and is going to be driven again into the half. Yes, they're still in possession. They're knocking it to the flanks. And they're struggling now with style. What is missing now in the South African half is a combination of skillful players that will be able to break into the half of the of the Dutch. Nice cross into the 18-yard box and headed out. Again, they're struggling with it. Nice try, and it goes all the way over the bar for a goal kick. Unlucky. This is an unlucky situation for them as they train everything possible to have an equalizer for this first half to end. Unlucky, quite unlucky. That was not a good shot, but it was a good try. Better luck next time. And we've played for the 3 minutes of the first half, and we only have 2 minutes plus extra time being added. We don't know how much extra time is going to be added on this because South Africans have got 2 major injuries that has delayed the game so far. Well, South Africa is trailing, and they've been in possession within the last 5 minutes, and they grew so much confidence in this match as they are chasing every loose ball and making it impossible for the Dutch to attack at this particular point in time. We might see possibly a careless play or a mistake being made by any of the teams. It will cost them a goal, which is just exactly what happened within the 8 minutes when the Dutch took the lead. So far, it's almost 45 minutes gone of the first half, almost finishing. And we are seeing the Dutch knocking the ball around from left to right of the pitch. And South Africans are now in control again. They are attacking one-on-one. Is this going to be... Oh, it's a save. Oh, no. It's a double save by the goalkeeper of the Dutch. It's a double save. Unfortunately, this time around, the South African captain wasn't able to make it. A 1-1 draw, as they had a very nice 1-2. Again, a nice drive. One-on-one with her left foot. She did it back again, and she couldn't get the second one after the goalkeeper made the first save, and the goalkeeper made a double save. At the loose ball was just about to take a second chance for another attempt on goal. Unfortunately, 7 minutes of an extra time is going to be added onto this, as we've just ended the first 45 minutes, and the South Africans again are attacking. This time around, they lost it to the Dutch, and the Dutch made a long pass to the goalkeeper come out. Yes, the goalkeeper is out to clear it out straight into the chest of the South Africans. They're still in control of the ball, and they're knocking it around. Whoa! Whoa, I've never seen anything like this in female football. This is exciting to watch. The South Africans has been brilliant so far, and the number 11 captain has proven everything possible today to make sure that she delivers for her country. And that is exactly what she is doing as the ball goes out for a goal kick in favor of the Dutch. This is a very nice first half so far, and South Africans have proven to be on top of it, even though they are 1 down. But the captain has done everything possible. I wouldn't say Tambi hasn't tried. Yes, she has definitely tried all she can. She has run the front line alone, and she's been doing everything possible to at least get a goal before the end of the first half. Very much unfortunate, and she has had few chances, all not one-on-one. Most of them are clear-cut chances, but the goalkeeper is brilliant to make those saves as she hits the target not once, not twice, but almost 4 times now, and all those 4 times are in a row. Matlu has been defending very well against the Dutch, and what we've seen so far, the Dutch has been in control by scoring a goal, but they haven't been in control of the game so far, as we had the South Africans performing to their best so far. I have never seen them perform in such manner, especially against a team like the Dutch. The Dutch is now taking a free kick just into the 18-yard box of the South Africans, and the goalkeeper came all the way out to make a brilliant save, and a nice 1-2, another one-on-one. with the captain again. Another one-on-one. Nicely passed to another one-on-one. What is going to happen? Oh, yes, no. Oh, saved again by the goalkeeper. Another second chance again, saved by the goalkeeper for the second time. What a game this is. What a match this is going to be like. The goalkeeper came all the way for it and drove it all the way past the Dutch, and it goes straight into the legs of the South Africans as they did a very nice one-on-one. Flip back all over again to the captain, who tried another chance, hit the target once, get it back again, and hit the target twice. This game has been very, very interesting to watch. The South Africans are back again on the attack, and they've lost it to the Dutch in the halfway line of the Dutch, as the Dutch are regrouping and knocking it around after that exhausting 2 minutes by the South Africans. The Dutch are definitely not in control of this match. They're only fortunate to be on top of it, as the South Africans are chasing everything possible. They have done well so far, and their performance has been great defensively, and even in terms of ball possession, in terms of skills, in terms of energy. They've done it all. They've done it all today. The goalkeeper has made some brilliant saves, and they have proven to be the true African champions of this match. They are anxiously waiting for the game to play. They don't want the game to stop at any given point in time, as we've just played 5 minutes of the 7 minutes of extra time being added to this match, and the South Africans are in full control. Definitely, this is going to be a match to watch. If you have the opportunity to watch it, please do so. But it is an interesting match so far, and we are yet to see the Dutch to make any difference on this match, especially when we've lost 2 key players of the South Africans, Banyana, to ankle injuries in the first half so far. And it's not an easy game, and they are doing their best to defend well, attack as much as they can, and don't concede a goal. That has been proven, and it is very much interesting to see the way they have performed so far, as they're doing everything possible to make sure that this match is not going to end up the way they don't want it to be. Thank you very much to the South Africans for all their dedication and for everything that they've done so far on this match. They have proven to be a challenging team to beat. They are now again in possession of the ball as they're knocking it around with so much confidence built up. And I haven't seen anything like this before. Like I said, I've watched them played. I watched them doing the WAFCON, and I've seen a couple of their friendlies. And again, they have proven today why they were crowned the African champions. And that is exactly their performance that they have put on for this first half. A nice ball again being, and she's now in control again. One more. 1-1. They've lost it. Just about losing that one. They're back again on it, and the whistle has gone for the end of the first half to be completed. The Dutch will be very happy to walk away with this, because at the end of the day, they were under serious pressure. It's good for them to go and regroup and come back, possibly, to face the challenge of the brutal attacking force of Banyana. The first half is over, and they're taking a break, and definitely we're going to see what is going to happen of the second half of this great encounter, as we've seen the captain of the South African team has performed to the best of her ability. And that is exactly what we want to see here today, as they are now showing us the replay of the goal and some of the saves by the South African goalkeeper. I think it's great to have her today on the pitch again, and definitely her performance has been brilliant. It's a poorly defensive goal. Well, They made a save, a defensive save, but at the same time, there was a free man right in the middle of the 6-yard box that actually made the save for the Dutch player to be free on her own. A free header just in the 6-yard box of the South Africans. So it's still one nil to the Dutch, and the South Africans have proven to be a team to beat so far. They have performed very well, and the captain has done everything possible to make sure that this game comes to a draw before the end of the first half. But unfortunately, she hasn't been able to do so. But she has proven her worth, and the reason why she is definitely the captain of the South African team. And we're hoping that the second half is going to be even much better than the first one, as her performance, her skills, her ability, her strength, she's just too confident. Just too confident. I think she deserves a goal in this match. She definitely deserves a goal. She has done everything possible. Everything possible. If there is anything that is going to look for a striker, you definitely found one. Because her performance so far has proven to be possibly. Her movement on the pitch is excellent. Her skills, her vision, everything about her so far today has been very much composed. And when you look at her, you might be thinking, what a small player. But she has the ability and potential to run the opponents down. So thank you very much for watching. Unfortunately, I won't be able to bring it live, but I'll be able to talk about it as much as I can. And that is exactly what I will be doing for the next half of the game so far. As we all know, the Spanish has won their own match 5-1 against Switzerland. Japan also won their match 3-1 against Norway. And those two matches are now finished, as the winner of the South African and Netherlands match are going to be playing against Spain. So minutes to come, and we're looking forward to the outcome of the Netherlands and South African clash. So as we await the second half, of the match to start, we're going to be talking a little bit about a few things about these two countries, especially for South Africa. Well, if you're watching, thank you very much for watching. You're watching Sarah J Media Live on YouTube and Facebook. And you're watching the South Africa against Netherlands match, which is just about to start anytime soon, the second half of it, as the first half is over and South Africa is trailing by 1-0. Well, the Dutch have a very good record so far in female football, and they have played so many matches in the past couple of years, but they've never had any one-to-one with an African team. The match that they were supposed to be playing against Zambia, I don't think that match went ahead. That was in 2022 on the 6th of October. So this is their very first encounter with an African team in such a way, and they are leading 1-0. And when we go to the South Africans, well, most of their games, their friendlies for 2022 was against great nations like Brazil. They played against Mauritius and won 4-0. They lost 3-0 at home, and they lost 6-0 again to Brazil for the second time at home. and they lost to Australia on a friendly 4-1, and they lost to Zambia again on a friendly. No, that's COSAFA Championship final. Again, that has been the challenge for the COSAFA region. The Zambians think they are better than the South Africans when it comes to female football, and that has been a massive battle for those two countries over the past decades. Reason being, South Africa had a lot of influence on the game, and Zambia are only building a new team for the past 5 to 10 years, and they have proven to be possibly, my opinion, they are possibly one of the best African female teams that I have seen. But their performance during the World Cup was not that great. They did not do well. They lost 2 of their matches woefully, and eventually they had to win their final match, which I think was the match that they should suppose to go back home with as a consolation match. So for the South Africans, I think their record speaks for itself in Africa, and they have proven to be possibly a team to beat in Africa. The challenges that they have faced so far in female football hasn't been that bad. They are playing well within the COSAFA region, and for them to be where they are today is because of the amount of finance, the amount of influence, the amount of support that the nation had when it comes to female football. There are local companies who are funding most of these local clubs in South Africa, and they are doing everything possible to boost the game as much as they can. So far, so good. If everything remains the way it is, South Africa will definitely not make it to the quarterfinal stages. But we hope and pray it doesn't end up like this. And we wish that South Africa will perform to the best of their ability when we come back into the second half of the match. So if you're watching, keep watching, as South Africa is just about to start off the second half anytime soon, and we hope that they do everything possible to get the goal line equal before the end of the next 45 minutes. So we are waiting for the second half to start. But as we are waiting, let's go quickly back into the records of the Female World Cup so far this particular year and look at the performance of the African teams. The African teams have performed very well so far, and I think for what they have done, they've made the continent proud. First time in the history of female football, and not just female football, but first time in the history of world football, especially in the World Cup, to have 3 African countries to qualify for the round 16 stages. Very much so history being made, and out of 4 countries who participated in the World Cup, 3 of them have qualified for the round of 16. And the other coincidence is the fact that all of these 3 nations are playing against their former colonial masters. What another historical moment for that to happen. All these 3 nations are playing against their former colonial masters. Holland were colonial masters of the South Africans. France, again, colonial masters for Morocco. And Nigeria, colonial masters for... No, England, colonial masters for Nigeria. That is the challenge that we are now faced with today. Are the colonial masters going to be defeated? Yes. So far, one of them is leading, and the 2 will have to knock heads tomorrow and Tuesday. Another interesting match to watch. It's not going to be easy to sit back at home and don't find a way to watch the Nigerian against the English. That is going to be an interesting match. Very much interesting to watch. As this one is still yet to be completed, but we hope that South Africa is not going to let us down. We believe in them, and we have believed in them so far since the beginning of the tournament as the African champions. They should be able to deliver for us. That is exactly what we were looking forward to, for them to be able to deliver. Their first international match was played. Their first international match was played in 1993. And you don't want to know the result of that match. They won 14-0 against Swaziland. That was more than an impressive goal line. And their biggest win so far is 17-0 against Comoros. And the biggest defeat that they have faced so far is 13-0. They were playing against China. And that was in 2003. So their first appearance in the World Cup is 2019. And then their best result is yet to be confirmed, as in this 2023. So we don't really know what is going to be the end result of this particular match. Definitely not. We don't really know what it's going to be like. As we are now watching Japan knocking heads with Norway as they've just qualified to the knockout stages, quarterfinals of the Female World Cup. So South Africa's result in international football is not too bad. I would say it's average on the breadline. And they've lost to crucial African countries, and definitely they turned out to be the African champion last African Cup of Nations for the women in Morocco, and they were playing against Morocco, who were the host nation. It is not an easy game because you were playing against a host nation with a 50-something thousand capacity stadium. Everything is against you, and everything on you is definitely against you on that day. But South Africans were very much composed. They took it all the way to the end and won it, not conveniently, but peacefully. It was a struggle at first, but eventually they became the winners and champions of Africa in that particular tournament. So we are yet to wait. We are awaiting the second half of the match to start. And it has taken so long. I don't know why, but it has taken so long. It's not usually like this. But let's see what happens now next, because as we all know, the South Africans will be regrouping now to come back and resume. Yes, they are back. They are back. The game has just started, and South Africa is playing out from my left to my right as the Dutch are defending the other way around. So the second half have started. South Africa is now to chase the game, as they already have done so within the first half, but not been fortunate. Pardon me. Not been fortunate to score a goal. The UK time is 10 after 4 in the morning. It's 10 past 4 in the morning, and we are looking at what is going to be the end result of this particular match, as South Africa is still trailing by 1-0. Thank you very much for watching. If you're just joining us, that was a long kick being taken and a throw by the goalkeeper into the hands, into the legs of the South Africans, and they've lost it to the Dutch. I think they're going to increase the tempo like they did earlier on, as South Africa is still trailing by 1-0. And if you're just joining us, thank you very much for joining us, and welcome to Sierra J Media. If you're joining us for the first time, where African stories is being told by Africans, as we are talking about the African female football today, as South Africa is now playing against their former colonial masters, the Netherlands. So far, this is definitely a serious injury for both players that has been substituted, as the second player, the number 13 defender, has just been given a crutch and her leg, a possible ankle, is swollen, and she's definitely going to nurse that possibly for the end of the tournament. I don't think she'll play any part anymore if South Africa go past this stage, except otherwise. But we hope they do go past this stage, and at least she might be able to play in the semi-finals, if at all South Africa can make this one through against the Dutch. It's not been easy for them. The captain has proven to be very active, and unfortunately, guys, I won't be able to show the match. Like I said earlier on, the South Africans are trailing just for a corner kick being awarded to the Dutch. This is an early start for the 7 minutes gone. 2 minutes of the extra time, of the second 45 minutes is being played. And we are yet to see what is going to be the outcome of this corner kick. The corner kick is going to be taken, and South Africans are regrouping in their defense, as you only have 2 or 3 Dutch players in the 18-yard box of the South African defense. The corner is going to be taken now. They've built it up. It's taken right across for a header over the bar by the Dutch striker, the number 7 player, who just headed that ball straight over the goal bar for a goal kick awarded to South Africans. Christopher, you have to mind your language here. Please do. So if you're just joining us, welcome. And we're watching South Africa against Netherlands, as South Africa is trailing 1-0. South African defense has been very swift, smart, and they're doing very well in terms of ball possession, and they're doing the best they can to at least have an equalizer or possibly win this match. If you match the skills player by player, South Africans have proven to be very much in control of the game, as a long kick is being taken straight into the head of the Dutch, missed by the South Africans, and back again in control as they try to knock it over the Dutch player, who did not allow that to happen. In control again, they lost it, and a foul is being given to the Dutch. It's 5 minutes of the second half gone. That is definitely should not be a foul, but the referee has just awarded it, and the ball goes out of play for a goal kick to South Africa. The game has been relaxed so far. It hasn't been as tough as it was for the last 10 minutes of the first half. And as we're just coming into the second half, the South African captain, number 11, is calling for the ball as much as she can, because she has proven to be a massive threat against the Dutch defense. So the Dutch are now knocking the ball from one part of the pitch to the other, as the number 11 player is again trailing, for the Dutch not to have a good hold of the match. They're still knocking it around. and being confident about it as well. The Dutch are doing so, and we hope that they don't continue to knock it around until the end of the second half. South Africa is still trailing by 1-0 as the Dutch seems to be in control of the ball again once more as they're knocking it around from one to another. Nice 1-2 being played, stopped by the South Africans as the ball now goes still in play. The Dutch still in control, and they're knocking it around on the left flank, 1-on-1, 1 against 4, and pass it on to another player as they now in control in the midfield. Nice play by the Dutch so far, but the South Africans have proven to be very tough in their defense, and a just missed kick by the number 4 defender of South Africa for a corner kick to be awarded to the Dutch. Ellis is not a comfortable coach at the moment. She's struggling with a couple of her players with injury, and at the moment she's now thinking of what to do spectacular to change this goal score line, as the Dutch are now ready to take their corner for the first half, and is driven all the way into the air, saved by the South African goalkeeper with a long kick straight into the heads of the Dutch. Again, South Africa is in control. Nice play, nice 1-2 on the left, played back to the South African defender, knock it back to the midfield and back to the defender with a long drive to the corner, and it goes to them again one more. Nice 1-2, lost it to the Dutch. Back again to the South Africans in possession, still doing the same thing that they normally do. Nice 1-2 combination, now with the captain, lost it again. The Dutch are in control still. Back again, won by South Africans. They're winning every loose ball at the moment, and they are now chasing the ball in their own half. As you have the Dutch now in control, just about a few yards away from the South African 18, and the player drives it right into the 18-yard box. No offside is given, and on is 2-0. Oh my God! Again, exactly what happened in the first half is the same repeat of the second half. Definitely not one you want to see. South Africa is trailing by 2-0. They were raising concern that is offside, but no, the line's flag is down. It's a nice 1-2, and South Africa is 2 goals down to 0. South Africa is now trailing woefully, as they've just conceded an early goal again in the second half, as the goalkeeper came out for that one but could not save it at all. Yes, they're going to do a VAR check whether it was an offside position or it isn't. So everybody now is anxiously waiting for the VAR check to be completed. Is it going to be in our favor, or is not going to be in our favor? Is it going to be in our favor? The goal check is being done. They're still waiting. The referee is saying what? What is it? No goal. Is it a goal? No goal. So we are back on it. We are back on it. The referee decided it's not a goal. So that goal was disallowed for an offside position by the Dutch. So the game is still 1-0, and South Africa has been saved by the VAR decision. Like I said previously in the other matches, VAR can be in your favor when it suits you. But when it doesn't, then you will be thinking the game is not in your favor at all. That is exactly what has happened now, as VAR has been valuable to us right now, as a goal just been scored has been disallowed for offside. Well, The South Africans, we are claiming that should be an offside position, but the referee says otherwise, and the linesman never raised her flagged up, and we are now going back again onto the match with South Africa trailing 1-0. A 1-2 again. Challenges has been very hard so far in the midfield, and the South Africans have proven to be very strong in the midfield as well, not just trailing, but defending and fighting for every loose ball that they can get hold of. The Dutch are still knocking the ball around, and the South Africans are closing it down as quickly as possible as they can. It's been an interesting match so far. Like I said earlier on, South Africans have proven to be the African champions, and for that reason alone, I think they have deserved a lot of credits for this particular match. If there is anything that will put you in any form of doubt within the performance of the South African team, then you should think twice, because this has been possibly one of their best performances so far in this tournament, and they have proven to be the African champions for real. They have defended well, attacked well, and done everything possible. Again, is a header straight to the goalkeeper for a nice 1-2 throw, and she has been very confident so far. And South Africans are now in the attack. They lost it again to the Dutch in the midfield, and the Dutch are knocking it around and playing that killer pass. Their 1-2 position has been good, and South Africans have defended well. Like I said earlier on, a straight ball into the deep, but nobody was there, and the Dutch are in control again once more as they knock it around in their own half. So far so good. 58 minutes played of the match, and we are still watching South Africa trailing 1-0 against the Dutch, as the South Africans just knock the ball into the right flank for a throw to be taken by the Dutch. It's quickly taken, being knocked from one flank to the other. They're still in control, the Dutch. 58 minutes gone of the match so far, and the Dutch are doing well, even though they've disallowed one of their goals, but they've also been confident enough to increase the goal line, as South Africa has proven to be a challenge for the Dutch performance so far. The Dutch are knocking it around, taking their time to do so, and South Africa slightly managed to win that ball, but defended it well by the Dutch. Again, they've been put under pressure, and they've been able to deal with that pressure as they clear it out to the left flank and in possession of the Dutch player, who is knocking around once or twice. Again, do it again. And a long pass from one post to the other by the Dutch players, something that they have done regularly. And the South Africans are still just chasing space, patiently waiting for a counter, which I think they've done well so far. It looks like they are resting, building their momentum to go again for the second time in a hurry. But they are chasing it now very deep into their half, as the Dutch are knocking it around, taking their time to build the attack and patiently driving it in between the legs and the pathways of the South African defense. They've been in possession now for almost a minute or two, which I think is very unusual for female football. It's very hard for you to see the game being played like this, and you have just a team knocking it around for over a minute or two. That has been definitely interesting to watch, as the Dutch are knocking it around and just lost it for a goal kick picked up by the goalkeeper of the South African goal. So far so good. It's still 1-0 to the Dutch, and South Africans are trailing not badly. They are trailing with pride. Definitely, they are trailing this match with pride, and they have performed very well for them to be where they are right now. So, as we all know, the Dutch have a very good record in European female football, and South Africa's record in African female football is not as great as you might think it is, but they have proven to be a very well deserved side to be where they are right now, to be qualified for the 16-man team to go into the quarterfinals of the World Cup stage. So Bayana has done well so far, even though they are trailing 1 goal down, but they have their performance level on this match is really superb, very much superb to compare to the rate at which the Dutch are playing at this current point in time. They're still trailing, and the Dutch are knocking it around conveniently at their own pace, while the South Africans are still trailing, and the Dutch are patiently building up their attack, and they've lost it again for a swift clearance to be made, and it goes straight into the chest of the Dutch midfielder as they're knocking it around again like they have done within the past 5 minutes. They are now in full possession, and they are taking their time to build their attack as we have the South Africans defending very well. The Dutch are still in possession, haven't been able to lose it at all. It comes back straight to them after a South African defensive clearance. And they're still trailing. They're still knocking it around. 63 minutes of the match being played so far. And we're still seeing the Dutch playing the Dutch football that they know best. It's a long clearance by the South Africans, and it goes again back to the hands of the Dutch, and it's cleared again for the second time as we have the captain on a 1-to-1 again in the half of the Dutch. She drives it right into the 6-yard box and lost it. She's been a lone striker so far today, and she has done that to the best of her ability, and that alone is a superb credit to her performance. She's very fast, ready to go, ready to take that chance if it comes her way, and she has done that perfectly well within the past 64 minutes of this game. South Africa is still trailing. The Dutch are still knocking the ball around like they always do for both the men's game and the women's game as well. The Dutch are very much flamboyant in style. South Africans are defending, and they are not defending well at the moment, but they are not in any danger at all whatsoever. But they have to be very mindful not to make mistakes like they have done within the past few minutes for the goal that was disallowed. Again, the Dutch are building it up. They're doing everything to build up the attack. They're knocking the ball around, taking their time, giving everybody the opportunity to be able to pass it on. As Coach Ellis is not a happy woman right now. She's anxiously standing there looking at what is happening. And for the fact that she has all the patience, she has all the might, she has all the courage, and as a footballer herself, that's a nice save by the South Africans in their 18-yard box. The Dutch have been in control for the past 5 minutes, and they are knocking the ball around with so much confidence. So much confidence. And South Africans have just been defending and haven't been able to be in ball possession for the past 10 minutes, if I would say. A foul being awarded to the South Africans as a goal kick, as a foul, a free kick is being awarded to them just about few yards away from the 18-yard box of the South Africans. The time in the UK is 4:30 in the morning a.m. As we await to see the end of this match, South Africa is trailing by 1-0. 66 minutes of the match gone so far, and we are waiting to see what is going to happen of this match. Again, the Dutch are in control. They're still on the attack. South Africans are defending, and they are defending well as well. That's a yellow card being awarded to the number 10 player of the Dutch national team. And definitely, that was a terrible challenge by her. Terrible challenge by her. So basically, she has now received 2 yellow cards. So definitely, she won't be able to feature in the Spain match, if at all they are going to make it through to the next round from this match. South Africa is on the attack now as they're driving the ball right into the pathway of the Dutch team, and the Dutch are knocking it around. They're chasing it down. The goalkeeper came back. Oh, that's a blunder. That's a massive mistake. That's a massive, massive blunder by the South African goalkeeper, Swart, who has done well so far in this tournament. That is a defensive blunder by the South African goalkeeper, and they are now trailing definitely by 2-0. That was a massive blunder by the South African goalkeeper. Nothing that you'd be expecting from her as she first came out of a goal, and definitely the ball hits her and bounced back for a goal against her. And this is a definite mistake, and for everything that she has done so far, this is going to be one of her biggest nightmares in world football. Way out of her line, but that was not her fault. But the mistake has been made, and South Africa is trailing by 2-0. Is it over? Not yet. Let's watch and see what is going to happen now, as South Africans are now trailing by 2-0 against the Dutch, who have been very much patient in building up this attack. They are now again attacking South Africans. They're knocking it around. Confidence has grown a little bit more, even though they are two down. But they're still knocking it around. Are they going to get a goal back? A tight ball being played, and they've just been awarded a goal kick to the Dutch national team. Very unfortunate for South Africans. Very unfortunate for them. Unfortunate situation for the goalkeeper. An unfortunate mistake for her. And this is going to be possibly one of her saddest moments in this tournament so far, by conceding a goal that was just a mere error. That was definitely a mere error by herself, and she wasn't expecting that kind of error at this particular crucial time of the match, when they've just been saved by the VAR, and now they've conceded a genuine goal. Nice 1-2 by the Dutch. They are now attacking. Oh, they've just missed it again for a wide kick, and it goes all the way out of the South African goal for a corner. For a corner kick to be awarded to the Dutch. Again, South Africa are trailing. They are trailing, and this is definitely not a nice situation for all of us to see one of our best trailing 2-0, as another corner is being taken in favor of the Dutch. They were looking to make it short, but no. What is the referee saying now? 70 minutes gone of the first of the match so far, and they are taking a tight corner, and it was cleared out by the South Africans. As number 9 is trailing again, the South African captain, and he goes out for a throw in favor of the South Africans. Quickly taken by her, and they're chasing it again. They're knocking it around. They're taking it from the first post to the next, and that was a tight angle of the pass. And they're still in possession, and the confidence has gone. Is he going to take a shot? No, not yet. South Africans are still in control of the game. Are they going to cross into the pitch? No. They're knocking it around. Nice 1-2. Oh, saved again. Blocks by the Dutch. Still in possession. South Africans haven't lost it yet. They're still in possession. Still in the half of the Dutch. A nice cross on. Oh no! It goes all the way wide again. The Dutch goalkeeper has been brilliant so far in this match. She has saved them a lot, and she has made herself very, very, very useful in this match today. Her performance has been great. She has been saving the Dutch, as South Africa is going to get another corner kick in the second half of the match so far, as 72 minutes of the second half of the match has been played, and a corner kick has been awarded to South Africans, and we are hoping for them to convert this one into a goal, and it's cleared out by the Dutch. Another nice kick, but it goes out for a corner kick, for a goal kick in favor of the Dutch. It looks disappointing so far, but we're not losing up yet. 72 minutes of the match being played, as the Dutch have been saved just by that mere miss by the South Africans. When the game is not in your favor, there are chances that you might not think you're going to miss, and those are the chances that will go away. But the Dutch are now again attacking on the left flank of the South African defense. As they're knocking it around, taking their time to do so, the Dutch can see how to get that ball right across to the defense of the South Africans, and cleared out and saved by the South African goalkeeper. It looks like a back pass. That was not a direct pass. South Africans are again in control. Oh, she miskicked that one, and the Dutch are in control. Knock it around again. Are they going to make this attack useful? They've tried it. They're knocking around, and saved by the goalkeeper. The South African goalkeeper has been great so far, even though she was unfortunate to conceive that goal. And I think if they carry on like the way they're doing, they have proven to be definitely a world-class team to compete at the highest level. Even though they are losing 2-0, but their performance level in this particular match has been great so far. They've done it all. They've done it before, and they're doing it again. But to trail 2-0 against the European champions is very much challenging, as luck is not on their side today. The Dutch are making a change. They're bringing in a new player just to make things extremely or maybe difficult for the South Africans to be able to handle it. But it's not over yet. 74 minutes of the match being played so far, and the Dutch are making a change with the number 10 player, who is likely not going to be able to play the quarterfinals against Spain because of her double yellow card. The South Africans are in control again. Oh, they have played. Referee, that's a foul. That is a very harsh defense. That's a foul, referee. But anyway, let's watch and see what is going to be the outcome of this match as South Africa is defending again. If you're just joining us, thank you for watching. As we watch South Africa trailing 2-0, 75 minutes of the match being played so far, as the Dutch not only have been fortunate to score those two goals, But I think they have been also fortunate in their defense not to conceive any. As the South Africans have attacked them with everything that they have so far, they're not just fortunate to be scoring goals so far, even though they've substituted two of their key players. One is the attacking striker on the left flank, which is Jermaine, and the other, I think, is the defender. They both have sustained ankle injuries. That's a nice play. And South Africa are defending that again, and it goes out in their favor as a goal kick, as the ball was cleared out by the Dutch defense. South African goalkeeper will be so disappointed with herself today after an outstanding performance of the tournament so far. But she won't be disappointed with herself because her performance in this tournament has been brilliant. I will not say that she hasn't performed. She has definitely performed to the best of her ability, and she has proven to be the reason why she is the favorite to be in goal for this tournament. So far, so good. We are likely possibly going to see one of the African countries going out of this tournament, and we're proud to say they have done well, and this is going to be a bad example for the other African teams to make sure that this is not going to happen to them, as Coach Ellis is a very confused woman right now as she watches her team trailing 2-0 as the Dutch are now again attacking from all angles. Cleared out, not far away. Cleared out again for the second time by the South Africans. The Dutch are back on it, taking their time to build the attack, finding any possible channel for them to drive that ball through to possibly have a third goal in their favor. South Africa is trailing. They won the ball again in their own half. They're knocking it around. They're taking their time. They're using all their skills, and they've been very skillful today when you look at skills per skills. But again, skills, yes, can be useful, but if you're not scoring goals, it makes no difference. Is this onside? Yes, she's onside. She's onside. And yes, they've just made it offside position. That would have been disastrous for South Africa if the number 7 Dutch player had scored her second goal of the match. It would have been 3-0 to the Dutch. But unfortunately, the linesman raised a flagged up for offside, and the goal is disallowed. So South Africa is still trailing. 79 minutes of the match gone so far, and we are waiting for the referee as she has her hand up, and the free kick has been taken, and South Africa is now on the attack again for another time. A quick cross being taken and hits the Dutch player and goes out for a corner kick for South Africa. The captain seems to be in a hurry, and I can understand why. And that's a foul again. Another corner kick awarded to South Africa, and this time around is going to be taken into the 6-yard or 18-yard box. Not playing 1-2 anymore. And the corner kick has been taken, and it goes straight. Oh, the captain has been struggling indefinitely. She lost that one to a nice defensive play by the Dutch. So this match is almost fast about ending. Yes, it was an offside position. Was that offside? No, that wasn't. Yes, it was. It was. They were correct. It was offside. And definitely the referee was correct in that decision. And South Africa is now going to take their free kick, and it goes straight onto the head of a South African player, headed out again, as South Africa is chasing this game now. Only 9 minutes more to go of the first half, of the second half. And we're yet to see miracle to happen on this match. If South Africa comes back again and do any miracle on this match, it is definitely going to be something that one will not expect. So far, South Africa is trailing by 2-0. As we now come to the final 8 minutes of the match so far, a free kick is being taken by South Africans, cleared out by South Africans, and South Africa is now on the attack 1-on-1. They lost it to the captain, and the Dutch are now in control. It's been a tough 25 minutes so far for the South Africans. They've only managed to defend this second half well. Where's the goalkeeper? He's not out again. And this is 1v1. And the Dutch are on the attack. It goes out for a goal kick in favor of the South Africans. This game has been very much interesting so far. And we are watching the Netherlands, who are 2-0 up against the African champions, South Africa. South Africa have done well so far, and they are now struggling to keep up the last 10 minutes of the match, as we only have 7 more minutes officially to play for, whilst the referee is not even looking at anything right now other than continue the match as it is. Earlier on, we had 2 of South Africa's possibly key players that were substituted on injury basis, and those 2 players have ended up their own career for this particular tournament. Not career, but ended up the match or their own competitive level for this particular tournament, because I don't think they'll be introduced again if South Africa is not able to make it through to the next stage of the quarterfinals of the Female World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. 6 minutes to play so far. The Dutch are still under the attack, and they are attacking very well for South Africans to actually make a blunder. The South Africans are now on the attack again once more, and they are knocking it around, lost by South Africans to the Dutch, and the Dutch are now driven all the way into the half of the 18-yard box of the South Africans. It's a nice 1-2, but blocks by the Dutch. But blocks by South Africans. Cleared out again once more, and South Africans are in control. They are in control of the match right now. They're still knocking the ball around and lost it again to the Dutch. Lost it twice, and a foul been awarded to Netherlands. South Africa are losing 2-0. As the Dutch are no longer anxious to make any force on this game, they are quite happy to maintain the scoreline as it is, and they are not in any hurry. Not any hurry whatsoever till the end of this match is over. 5 minutes of the official time left to play for, as South Africa is on the attack again, to their captain, who is chasing the ball all the way to the right corner. A nice cross, nicely being placed. They're building up again. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to break through the defense of the Dutch, and they're still building up. They won it again for the second time. They're building up again still. Definitely, they're still holding on to it. They're still holding on. As they build onto this one, they're still building onto it. Again, they're knocking it around into the halfway of the Dutch defense. They're still building up to this one. Nicely being placed, cleared out by the Dutch. They're still in control. Oh, they lost it again one more time. As they won it again, it's gone out for a throw in favor of the Dutch. This has been a very challenging match for Ellis, and at the moment, I don't know what sort of miracle she's going to perform, as we only have officially 3 minutes to go for the end of this match. South Africa just lost it carelessly by a very strong pass being made to the player. The Dutch are knocking the ball around from one post to the other, as they have been able to defend so far very well, as they are now on the attack. They are now on the attack, and they're building it from the left to the right, from the right to the left. They're being long passes, stretching the South African defense. A nice pass, but missed kick by the goal scorer of the Dutch national team, who slightly missed that slide. I will not say slide tackle, but a slide kick. Unfortunately, it wasn't in their favor this time around. So we're yet to see miracle to happen, as South Africa is trailing by 2-0, and it looks like they are coming to the end of their tournament, and they will be happy going home by making it possible to round 16 of the tournament. The Dutch are making 2 or 3 more changes, and they're going to be resting some of their players for the match against Spain. That is not going to be an easy one, as we wait for the African teams to be able to make their way into the next stage. It's either not going to be South Africa, it's either not going to be Nigeria or Morocco to do us that favor. South Africans have tried, but it's rather unfortunate for them to be not making it to the next stage of the quarterfinals of this tournament. I will not put the blame on injury, but injury might have had a lot of differences to make on this particular match. South Africans, we are kind of forced to make certain changes initially, and there's another player on the pitch right now stretching her calf. Maybe she must have just had an injury. Unfortunately, South Africans are playing hard. They're doing everything possible to make a way into the defense of the Dutch, but it has proven to be impossible. Impossible so far, as the captain has done everything possible, as the Dutch are now attacking once more, picked up by the South African goalkeeper, and throw it all the way into the legs of the South African midfield. They are knocking it around again once more for the second time, as they're trying to build up their final attack for the last minutes of the 90 minutes of the match being played so far. It will be very nice for them to have a goal if possible in this match, as they've done everything in their power to be able to score a goal or at least have an equalizer. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to happen so far. We don't know how much of extra time is going to be added to this match, as we've just finished the first 90 minutes of the match so far. South Africa is still in the attack. 4 minutes extra time is being added. The referee has added 4 minutes extra time into this match, as South Africa is attacking again. Attacking again once more. Unfortunately, drives it straight out of the goal post for a goal kick to be awarded to the Dutch national team. As it stands right now, 90 minutes of the first half is over, of the second half is over. So 90 minutes of the match is gone, and we only have now 4 minutes of the extra time to be played, as a minute of that extra time is just about rounding up. It's 5 o'clock UK time in the morning, and South Africa is trailing by 2 goals to nil against the European champions, the Netherlands. Definitely, this has been a very interesting match for the South Africans, as they are not able, definitely not able to defeat their former masters, which is rather unfortunate to see. But we would have hoped for South Africa to have won this match for so many reasons in football, for so many reasons out of football, and for so many reasons for the country to be proud. South Africa is making 2 more changes, introducing 2 more players just at the 11th hour of the extra 4 minutes that has been played. Are they going to be able to make any difference on this match? I'm not too sure, but yes, it's better for them to be able to participate on this match. Matalo is not happy, and the number 6 player has been introduced, who has been very much effective so far in their previous matches. We're waiting for the referee as the Dutch are making another change to end the match, with a couple of new players coming in. And they are smiling, they're happy. Yes, they won it. As we have seen, the performance of the South Africans hasn't been bad so far. I think they've done everything possible to be where they are. They haven't lost disgracefully. They have just not been fortunate so far in this particular match that they had against the Dutch. Their performance level for this match is phenomenal, and I think, as somebody who's been watching female football, I've never seen them perform in such a way. And I think I will congratulate them for their hard try and for what they have done so far for the continent. They have proven to have players that are skillful, capable, and able to cause any form of destruction against credible oppositions like the Dutch, the Germans, the Italians, and the Swedish. They won it again in their own half. They're slightly building it up again to see if they can have a consolation goal. They lost it to the Dutch again once more, as the Dutch are fully attacking now. Won again by the South Africans. Now the captain is in control, driving it one more time. 1v1. Is he going to take a chance? Yes! She does! And hits the target again for many times today on the match. And the goalkeeper has proven to be the man of the match for this tournament, as she has made a lot of definite saves. And we're just going to the last minute of the extra 4 minutes added time to this match, as South Africa is trailing by 2 goals to nil, as they're about to take the possible last corner of the match. It's driven out again to South Africa, and they're going to take a second kick on the ball for a free kick being awarded to South Africa. Again, 11th hour, nothing to lose, but they will still push for the last time to see if they will be able to get a goal of this match. A consolation goal will be great, and you never know what happens. Another free kick is being awarded just about 5 yards away from the 18-yard box of the Dutch. So they're ready for it to take the last free kick of the match so far, and it's going right into the 18-yard box of the Dutch and headed out by the Dutch defenders. A throw being awarded to the Dutch, as this has been a very interesting match to watch, and we are a little bit upset of the result, and I think it's all over. It is all over. It is all over. Good luck to Banyana. Well done for a great performance of the Banyana national team. And unfortunately today, the Dutch goalkeeper has been remarkable for making all the saves that we have seen in this particular match. The Dutch have won it. South Africans are going home, but they're going home with their heads up high. What a marvelous performance they've put up today. And the performance for today has been possibly one of the best that they have ever put up in any tournament in the world. They proved to be the reason why they are crowned Africa's best. And like I said, for the goalkeeper, this is one of her most disappointing moments. One of her most disappointing moments in world football. Again, South Africans are going home. They've lost it to the Dutch. And we will say thank you for all those watching. And thank you for all your contributions online. And thank you for everything that you've done so far to be part of this commentary, as we have now come to the end of the commentary. And we want to say thank you and bravo. And we hope to see you guys tomorrow for another edition of the World Cup special put together by Sarah Jane Media, as we're going to be covering the Nigeria and England match. That match is going to be played on Tuesday, and it's going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting to see another colonial master playing against one of his colony. And definitely, we will hope that Nigeria is not going to let us down. South Africa did not let us down. Their performance today was great. And I think for what they did today, it means even if they're going home, they will go home with their heads up high. What a remarkable performance by the African champions. We wish them all the best again for further tournaments to come. We wish them all the best so that they will be able to qualify for the next World Cup to come. And if we continue to play the way we did as a continent, definitely we are ready for the challenges that we are going to be faced with, especially with the European teams. They are no better than us. They possibly have more facilities, more opportunities, more structures. But I think the game, yes, is about opportunities, structures, and the discipline that the game should be involved in. And I think that's the direction the continent is going right now. For the fact that we have 3 nations that qualified for the round 16 of this tournament, it means the direction of African female football is fast approaching. If that is what is going to make the continent proud, so be it. But I want to say thank you once more to everybody that has been watching us so far since morning. UK time is now 5 o'clock in the morning, and I would like to thank you all and appreciate the fact that you've been able to join us on this particular special edition of the World Cup in Australia, and of the World Cup in Australia and Swiss. And I'm even losing my mind right now. I think it's 5 o'clock in the morning, so I think I have to say thank you for watching and goodbye. And I will see you guys again tomorrow with the Nigeria versus England match. So from myself and on behalf of the Sarah Jane Media team, I want to say thank you all for watching, and have a good night's sleep for those who are about to go to sleep. And I'll say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Stay safe, enjoy your Sunday, and be good. Thank you very much for watching, and good night. Good morning.